Ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tí ọ̀gbẹ́ni Fulani sọ.
Hello everyone, good evening, hope you are doing well. Message to Sunday Igboho. Fight criminal.
Message to Sunday Igboho. Fight criminal.
Not Fulani.
Fight criminal, not Fulani. Tó bá jẹ́ pé Fulani ni criminal yẹn, kí Igboho ọmọ wòran torí bó ti jẹ́ Fulani, kó má fight yẹ. It's okay.
What you are doing, it is not the way to restore peace. Let me tell you the truth.
Who is restoring peace? Kò sẹ́ni tí ń restore peace. Aláwọn afẹ̀míṣòfò àwọn ajínigbé kí wọ́n kú nílẹ̀ wa restore peace nígbà tá ìṣe peacemaker. Kí ló kàn wá pẹ̀lú peace? Gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ní peacemaker kan make peace now. Ìyẹn sì wá kàn wá. Tiwa ni pé ókè o, àwọn tí ń fẹ̀mí èèyàn ṣòfò, àwọn ajínigbé kí wọ́n kú nílẹ̀ wa. So Sunday Igboho sí fún kì í ṣe pé wá restore peace. Tó bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ restore peace, ó wá restore peace sílẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire ni. Kí jínigbé kó dà fi ẹ̀yìn, kí fẹ̀mí ṣòfò kó dà fi ẹ̀yìn, kí bandi kó dà fi ẹ̀yìn.
We know your history and we know what you are doing before.
We know your history and we know what you are doing before. We all have history and we were all doing something before. So ìwọ gan tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí náà nísìn, ìwọ náà ń ṣe nǹkan kan tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀.
So you should not fight innocent Fulani, which is
Igboho ọba innocent Fulani jàre. Ntọ́sọ náà ni pé ẹ bá fẹ́ gbé pẹ̀lú akọ́mọbọ̀ nù gbòòrò ẹja kó ju oríra wa.
peace loving people and you are attacking them because
Mélòó ni ó ti àtáàkì? Kọ́gbẹ́ni bá wa gbé jáde.
federal government allow you due to selfish.
What kind of selfish is that? So normal.
Injustice, but it is warning for you. If you continue doing what, the result will come like what is happening in Zamfara and Katsina.
The result will be what is happening in Zamfara and Katsina. My brother, maybe you can watch me live and direct, or you can watch me later. Something that happened in Zamfara and Katsina can never happen in Yoruba land. Get that to your skull. Never happen here. We are not Zamfara people. We are not Fulani. We are not like you guys. I don't think we ever disturb you to do your business. But for you to inconvenience us is what we cannot accept again. So
if you are really fighting criminal, let come to Zamfara, Katsina, and Maiduguri.
Igboho doesn't have anything to do at Zamfara, Katsina, and Maiduguri. It's not from there. He's not a Fulani man. Igboho is a Yoruba man. And what all his fight is on behalf of Yoruba people. Is to defend Yoruba land, not to defend Zamfara or Katsina or Maiduguri. We don't have business there. So government security agencies are dealing with people there, are dealing with criminals there, not here. We are saying here in Yoruba land, we don't want criminal, we don't want bandits, we don't want kidnappers. Go back to Zamfara, go back to Katsina, go back to Maiduguri. My brother, go back to Maiduguri.
And this is advice for you, please.
Go and advise your forefather, advise yourself, advise your family.
Fight with criminal, not Fulani, innocent, please.
Get out. So, ngbà tí wọ́n sẹ́ndì ẹ̀sìn mi náà ni mo ní kákan mẹ́nu bá. Wọ́n bá tá mẹ́nu bá ń bẹ̀ náà nu. Now, ẹni tó sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, Brigadier General Sani Usman ni retired. Òun ló sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Mo wo the entire program and interview. Mo rí pé ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àṣeyọrí àwọn sọ́jà ní Òkè Ọya. Níbi táwọn ajínigbé ti jí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ gbé ṣùgbọ́n tí wọ́n gbà wọ́n padà tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí wọ́n rí gan kó lọ. N ló fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. As highlighted, Brigadier General Sani Usman retired has highlighted into some only the bottle of Coca-Cola that sell 300 naira is 3,000 naira in bandit camp. Has highlighted the role of what he described as a war economy that is sustaining banditry and insurgency in Nigeria, noting that basic goods like a 33 cl bottle of Coca-Cola that sells for about 300 naira elsewhere can go for as much as 3,000 naira in bandit camps. In an interview with Ilé-iṣẹ́ television yẹn, he made this observation while discussing the challenge of collaborators and logistics aiding terrorist attack in the north. Usman explained that war economy is a really real system where people profit from conflict, and in such situations questions of morality are often set aside. So gbogbo ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ làwọn èèyàn máa ń take advantage of. Yes, nígbà COVID-19 ṣẹlẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn tailor náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní rán nose mask káàkiri tí wọ́n ń tà á, wọ́n ń kó lọ báńkì, wọ́n ń kó lọ anywhere. So anywhere tí nǹkan bá ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀, you always take the positive aspect of it. Níbi táwọn kan ti ń complain làwọn kan ti máa bọ́ rọ́nà lọ́nbẹ̀. So he said the center of gravity for banditry revolves around two things: information and weapons. He noted that most of the perpetrators are locals who know the terrain well, which is why the majority of kidnapping are carried out by people within the communities rather than outsiders. So ó wí dáadáa, ìjínigbé àwa náà ti sọ wípé bí ọ̀bá sólè etí ta ò ní dání. Ìyẹn túmọ̀ sí pé àwọn tí ń lead àwọn tí ń jìyàn gbé yìí ara inú ilé ni wọ́n. Àwọn wọ́n mọ̀ fún tán mọ̀ gbé, wọ́n mọ wájú ilé, wọ́n mẹ́kùlé, ibi tẹ́ bá wọ̀lú, ibi tẹ́ bá jáde, tí kò tí ní kọ́ lẹ́sẹ̀, àwọn náà mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. He linked the problem to issues of governance at federal, state and local government levels. According to Sani, people who under normal circumstances who choose honest work are sometimes enticed by small payment because they lack alternatives. Yeah, tí ìbá ṣèṣe àtòsí náà, ẹni tí ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún dídí oṣù tẹ́ ń fún ní 39,000 tẹ́lẹ̀ sọ di 70,000 naira ní ìsìn, ó wá rẹ̀ nìkan tó tì pẹ̀ pẹ̀lú 50,000 naira 100,000 naira yóò gbà ó, yóò ṣiṣẹ́ tán bá ní kó ṣe o. He also pointed to individuals with existing criminal tendencies who are not checked early and later gravitated toward terrorist and bandit groups. He said the proliferation of weapons and the supply of logistics further enable these groups, because gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́, tí wọ́n ń ta nǹkan ìjọ olóró fún wọn, tán bá wọn gẹ̀ẹ́tì ọta, tán bá wọn gbóúnjẹ wá, ká ní wọn ò ṣe é, ó ṣeé ṣe kí wọ́n ti dínkù dáadáa. Using the example of Coca-Cola, Usman said the huge price difference in bandit camps shows how lucrative the supply chain has become. He said to those involved in supplying, the profit matters more than the impact in society, similar to what was seen with blood diamonds in Sierra Leone. Usman added that the battle has before shifted beyond the conventional battlefield to include infiltration, community compromise, and economic incentives that keep the cycle going. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀, he said, and I quote, "Take for instance a bottle of Coca-Cola that sells for as much, I think the 33 cl is about 300 naira, 400 naira náà ń tà lọ́dọ̀ wa, 400 naira náà ń tà, but you go to bandit camp, it sells for as much as 3,000 naira. So you can imagine the person is making his own money. To him, he doesn't care what it contributes, just like when you had the Kinikan diamond in Abuja." Okay, now ẹ já sáré sí arithmetic kan. Arithmetic ọ ni wípé God bless you, Arole Odua, Awikonko Development Fans Club, God bless you. Arithmetic ọ ni wípé nínú ọdún yìí nìkan ni mo fẹ́ lè sọ pé wọ́n jiyàn gbé jù. Mi mọ̀ bó ṣe rí lọ́dọ̀ yín o, mi mọ̀ ojú tẹ́ fi wò o, nínú ọdún yìí nìkan. So a máa ṣe assessment nípa data tó jáde ní March 22. àti dátà tó jáde ní April 11 àti eléyìí tó jáde January to April 2026 àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tán ti jiyàn gbé Borno wọ́n jiyàn 500 gbé, Zamfara 260, Kaduna 196, Kwara 176, Niger 57. So according to Amnesty International Nigeria, now at least 1,100 people abducted in 3 months. Nigeria President Bola Tinubu, okay. Apart from pípa àwọn aláìṣẹ̀ aláìmọ̀ nǹkankan tí wọ́n mọ̀ mẹ́sẹ̀ tán dédé ń pa káàkiri, apart from pípa wọn, government are now on rampage of abduction largely for lucrative ransom. Some stay months at the mercy of government in punishing situation. Estimates of the number of abductions by government and armed groups across Nigeria vary, and some of the commonly cited figures vastly understate the scale of the problem. Sanusi tó jẹ́ director Amnesty International Nigeria ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. On 3rd April 2026, an armed group invaded Woro village in Kayama local government area of Kwara State. Wọ́n pààyàn 200. Wọ́n jiyàn 176 gbé. In the first week of this month, government abducted 150 people during the attack on Kofadanya and Kufari Magaji village in Bukuyum local government area of Zamfara State. Wow, majority of the victims are women and children. On 19 March, àwọn Boko fighter wọ́n jiyàn 100 gbé. Wọ́n displace àwọn èèyàn tó pọ̀. Ní 3rd January 2026 ní Niger State wọ́n jiyàn 57 gbé nígbà tán kọlu abúlé tán pè ní Kasuandaji community located in Bogu local government area. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ tọ́jọ́ ọmọ Bogu, mo ní gbàgbọ́ pé ti gbọ́ local government yín, Bogu local government. On 3rd March 2026 kan náà, Boko Haram fighters kọlu Ingoshe village in Gwoza local government area of Borno State and abducted more than 400 people and laid siege on the town. On 22nd March, 30 people were abducted by gunmen that attacked 3 churches in Kashia local government area of Kaduna State. Ẹ wo àdúrà èèyàn tán jí gbé. Ní March 30th, 18 passengers in commercial vehicle traveling from Abuja to Sokoto were abducted along Mayanchi in a part of Zamfara State. On 19 February 2026, 92 people were abducted by armed group in Zamfara State. A total of 42 people were abducted in Anka local government area, and another 50 were separately abducted in Safe local government area. Can you imagine that? On 18 January 2026, àwọn agbébọn rìn wọ́n kó àwọn èèyàn rẹpẹtẹ attacking 3 churches at Kumin Valley Wali village in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. During morning worship service, at least 166 people ni wọ́n jí gbé ńbẹ̀ wọn. Okay o. Now, a resident of Woro community Kwara State told Amnesty International, and he said and I quote, "They didn't just pààyàn, they stole our life away. They abducted 176 people, including my second wife and my 3 daughters. One of them is only 2 years old. I have seen the video they posted on social media. I heard my wife's voice. I saw my people. It has been almost 2 months now, and they are still in that forest. In almost all cases of these abductions, people were also pàdánù, homes and shops looted and razed. In some cases, families must dispose of everything they have to pay ransom, while villages often crowdfund to rescue their people. Those who could not pay are sometimes either disappeared or tortured more. What we are witnessing right now in the northern part of Nigeria is a crisis of abduction that increasingly endanger lives." All right, the possibility of fear of abduction is forcing thousands of children to abandon education. nǹkan fẹ́ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ lókè ọ̀yà náà nù. Why underage girls are having their education terminated and forced into marriage as a means of avoiding abduction at school. Wow, this is a devastating blow to years of effort to boost enrollment in schools in the educationally disadvantaged part of northern Nigeria. Ngbà táwọn ọmọ tó yẹ kó lọ léèwé tí wọ́n bá wò wípé báwọn ò bá sí lábẹ́ ààbò kankan lè wá já wọn gbé káwọn òkú máa lọ lé ọkọ àwọn ọmọ dáàbò bò àwọn eléyìí lágbára dé ọmọ kéékèèké. All right. Some incidents of abduction in remote communities are rarely reported. The Nigerian authorities are grossly failing in their constitutional and international human rights obligation to protect lives. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá dẹ̀ béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn, wọ́n sọ pé àwọn ń gbìyànjú, wọ́n sọ pé àdé àwọn ń làágùn, ìyá rẹ̀ ló ní ọ̀já rí pé ó ń làágùn. All right. He said this, and I quote, "This failure by the authorities to promote and ensure the security and safety of the population constitutes a serious breach of their human rights obligation, including under the Nigeria Constitution and the African Charter of Human Rights and People Rights, to which Nigeria is a stake party." They play, my fans. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ lálùdẹ̀ ń sọ ti lálùpọ̀n. Ṣé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì nìkan ló máa rẹ́yìn ìjínigbé àti ìfẹ̀míṣòfò yìí àbí gbogbo wa? All right. Blood, tears, death. 34 states record 137 cases of terror kidnap attacks in 4 weeks. Take up ẹ̀yin náà lẹ́rù. Láàrin ìpínlẹ̀ mẹ́rìndínlógójì, ìpínlẹ̀ mẹ́rìnlélọ́gbọ̀n, ìní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ìjínigbé ìṣekú oró pààyàn ti wáyé lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà. Pẹ̀ bá lọ wo máàpù lórí social media, níbi tí ìfẹ̀mí èèyàn ṣòfò ti wáyé, ẹ máa rí i pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ ni wọ́n fi sáwọn ìpínlẹ̀ kan lọ. All right, ẹja sáré wò ó. Nigerians' deepening security crisis came into stark focus over the past 4 weeks, with no fewer than 137 terror and kidnapping incidents recorded across 34 states and the Federal Capital Territory, underscoring the widening reach of violence across the country. Data compiled by Vanguard this Sunday from across the state shows that Borno, Benue, and Ondo states emerged as the worst hit, accounting for some of the deadliest attacks and highest number of incidents within the period under review. Can you just imagine that? From coordinated insurgent assaults in the northeast to mass kidnapping in the north central and the surge in kidnapping in southwest, the pattern reflects a crisis that is no longer confined to any one region. Kò síbi tí ò ti ṣẹlẹ̀ sí, àrùn tí ń sogójì ní sọ̀ọ́dúnrún ni, ntọ́ba bóyadé tí ń ṣe gbogbo ọlọ́ya. According findings, only Nasarawa and Jigawa states recorded no incidents during the period, offering a rare contrast in an otherwise widespread wave of violence. At least mo fẹ́ kéle ó wà ní record ló jẹ́ kí n mú wá. Rising terror index. The recent surge aligns with broader national trends. According to the Global Terrorism Index 2025 released by the Institute of Economics and Peace, Nigeria ranked fourth globally, with terror attacks rising by 43% from 120 incidents in 2024 to 171 in 2026 to 171 in 2025, 176 in 2026. Láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́rin péré ní 176 gan. Ṣé ti rí bọ́ lágbára jù? Ọdún yìí gẹ́gẹ́ mo sọ ọdún yìí ló dà mí pé wọ́n jiyàn gbé jù. The report identified Boko Haram and ISWAP as the main drivers of violence according to the majority of fatalities. It also noted that civilians made up 67% of victims, underscoring a shift towards softer targets. Ẹni a lè mú lálẹ́ dì mọ́. Ẹgbẹ́ ẹni làágóyàn wùrà pé ọ̀yà break down ẹja jọ break it down. Across the northeast, Borno State recorded 19 incidents, the highest nationwide, reflecting sustained insurgent activity marked by coordinated assault, mass abductions, and suicide. Adoloro, Yobe, Bauchi, and Adamawa had 4 each, including attacks on security formations and deadly village raids and abductions. Taraba recorded 2 incidents, while Gombe had 3, largely involving attacks on farming communities. In the northwest, Sokoto State recorded 8 incidents, driven by persistent bandit attacks and kidnapping. Katsina had 4, while Zamfara and Kebbi recorded 3 incidents each, including mass casualty attacks and village raids. Kano State recorded 1 incident, a kidnapping case. The North Central Zone showed intense pressure. Benue State recorded 10 incidents, including multiple village attacks in Kwamde, Akpa, and Otukpo, with dozens dying in separate assault. Plateau State recorded 5 incidents, largely involving coordinated attacks on rural communities and security patrols. Kogi State had 6 incidents, many targeting highways and travelers. Yes, bó ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Kogi nìyẹn. Niger State recorded 7 incidents, including large-scale village attacks and ambushes on security personnel. Kwara recorded 3 incidents, including the major massacre in Kayama. The Federal Capital Territory recorded 8 incidents, mostly kidnappings in satellite communities around Buari and Kubwa. In the southeast, Abia State recorded 5 incidents, including attacks on security personnel and kidnappings. Imo and Enugu recorded 4 each, involving raids on facilities and security operations, and deadly attack and abduction along highways. Ebonyi also recorded 4, including pipa of traditional ruler and child abductions. Anambra recorded 3 incidents, largely involving armed confrontations and attempted kidnapping. In the south-south, Edo State recorded 5 incidents, mostly kidnapping and related violence. Rivers State recorded 4 incidents, including multiple abductions. Bayelsa and Cross River State recorded 2 incidents each, including kidnapping-related cases. Akwa Ibom State and Delta State recorded 1 incident each. In the southwest, Ondo State recorded 10 incidents, emerging as the most affected in the region, with Pipa, Ajinigbe, and Ikolu, Anwoku, and communities across Akure North and Owo axis. Oyo and Ekiti State recorded 5 incidents each, while Osun State recorded 2 and Ogun State recorded 1. Lagos State had 1 unconfirmed incident linked to highway Ajinigbe. Notably, Nasarawa and Jigawa State recorded no attacks within the period under review, with their last reported incident occurring in January 2026, deadly Ikolu. The incidents were marked by heavy casualties across several regions, with some states recording mass pipa on a scale rarely seen outside insurgency zone. In Borno State, coordinated insurgents operations, including the invasion of Ngoshie and repeated assault on military formation, left scores Kiku with about 300 civilians abducted in 1 attack alone. Mbolaye mi lọ mẹ́mọ́, mbolaye mi lọ mẹ́mọ́. Kẹ́kàn lè mọ tí ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ni o. Bí ròyìn ọba gbé kẹ́mọ́ fi ṣèbínú o. Ìjọba ló ní kí ròyìn ọmọ gbé mọ́ kọ́ mọ̀ dẹ́rù bà wá aráàlú. Ìgbà wo wá ni mọ́kú ọ̀wá kú báyìí? Mọ́kú ọ̀máwo ń bọ́ pa, mọ́kú ọ̀mọ̀wẹ̀ ń bẹ́ lókun. Ǹjọ́ wá ni mọ́kú òrìn kú. Ńgbà tán bá jiyàn 300 gbélé kan náà. Ọ̀dà o, in Benue State, a series of attacks across Kwande, Akpa, and Agatu local government area resulted in over ikú èèyàn 70, alongside multiple abductions and widespread displacement. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn yẹn wọ́n jí gbé, èèyàn 90 wọn padà nù. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ní ò nílé lórí mọ́. The situation in Kwara State was particularly severe. In a single attack on Woro community in Kayama local government area, over 200 residents were reportedly pipa, while 175 others, including men, women, and children, ni wọ́n jí gbé lọ. Many of those abducted remain in captivity, making it one of the deadliest incidents recorded in the period under review. Láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́rin péré náà ni o. In Niger State, attacks on communities such as Tongan, Makeri, and surrounding area reportedly left dozens pípa, with entire settlements razed and residents forced to flee. Kansalo. Similarly, in Zamfara State, a mass casualty attack in Tongan Dutse allegedly claimed over ẹ̀mí bí àádọ́ta ló kú ńbẹ̀ o. In addition to large-scale abduction, wọ́n tún jiyàn gbé rẹpẹtẹ. In the southwest, Ondo State recorded multiple pípa, including the pípa of traditional ruler Taasonjo Oni and several farmers, reflecting a rise in the lethality of attacks in the region. Across the country, civilians remain the primary victims, with many of the attacks deliberately targeting rural communities, travelers and places of worship. Protests and rising fear. Public anger has followed closely. Behind the violence, in Oyo State, residents staged protests along major highways including the Ibadan-Oyo Expressway, condemning repeated kidnappings and what they described as weak enforcement. In Ondo State communities, in Akure North and surrounding areas, repeatedly block highways, in some cases displaying òkú àwọn tí wọ́n pa to draw attention to their plight. Protesters demanded direct intervention from the government, citing an inability to access farms and rising ransom demands. Elsewhere, fear has reshaped daily life. Rural communities in Benue and Niger and parts of the southeast reported displacement, with residents abandoning homes and farmlands. In the FCT outskirts, residents described living under constant threat, with kidnappers issuing ransom instructions directly to communities. Intervention. Security agencies have responded with a mix of operations and reactive measures. In Borno State, troops under Operation Adinkai carried out sustained offensives, repelling attacks, pípa àwọn Ajinigbe, and rescuing abducted civilians. In Niger and Kebbi, military deployments were reinforced following mass casualty attacks, while joint task forces conducted clearance operations in affected communities. Authorities in Ondo launched coordinated patrols involving the police, army, and Amotekun Corps, alongside mass arrests of suspected kidnappers. Similar crackdowns were reported in Imo and Abia State, where security forces raided suspected camps and made arrests. In Abuja, joint operations led to the rescue of kidnapped victims in Buhari, though attacks continued in nearby communities. Despite these efforts, many residents and local leaders argue that responses remain largely reactive, with calls for permanent security bases, improved intelligence gathering, and stronger rural protection strategies. Under strain, with 137 incidents in just 4 weeks, the data points to a security challenge that is both widespread and evolving. While states such as Nasarawa and Jigawa recorded no attacks during the period, the overall pattern suggests that insecurity has taken on a national character, cutting across regions once considered relatively stable. Torí tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan tí mọ̀ ń kàn wá nísàlẹ̀ ń bí, a sọ pé Gàmbàrí pa Fúlàní ni kò lẹ́jọ́ nú, nítorí bá wọn kan fira wọn sí lókè ọya ó ti wá dé ọ̀dọ̀ wa náà o. The figures taken together raise fresh questions about the capacity of existing security frameworks to contain a threat that is no longer confined to any one part of the country. Additional reports eléyìí máa jáde later. Àánú Olódùmarè ò ní fẹ́ nìkan kan wá sílẹ̀ o, wọn ò ní jí wa gbé o, wọn ò ní jí ọmọ wa gbé, wọn ò ní jí aya wa gbé o. Mo ní kí n mú wá sétí gbọ́yìn ni o, kẹ́ ẹ lè mọ̀ pé mẹ́wàá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ o, nǹkan kan láàrin ìlú. Ẹ wo iye àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n jí gbé, ẹ wo iye ransom tán ń béèrè. Wọ́n ń béèrè 70 million fún ransom, 150 million fún ransom, 200 million fún ransom, 300 million fún ransom, 500 million fún ransom, 1 billion fún ransom. Bùlà ń borílẹ̀-èdè yìí lọ, Ọlọ́run ṣàánú wa. Àánú Olódùmarè ò ní fẹ́ nìkan kan wá sílẹ̀ o. Ẹ like, follow page mi lórí Facebook, Awikonko Television, Awikonko Television àti Awikonko TV. Ẹ subscribe sí YouTube channel mi, Awikonko TV àti Onídèmọdé TV. Ẹ wá ní nǹkan pàtàkì tẹ́ fẹ́ ká jọ sọ, ẹ já sọ lẹ́yìn lórí WhatsApp +234 904 851 9362 +234 904 851 9362. lágbára ọlọ́run àkàndọ̀rọ̀ Awíkonko n ó ṣe sinimá láìpẹ́, sinimá ọ̀hún yóò sì lágbára. òye yé mi pé àwọn èèyàn kan ti ṣe Kírìjí, àwọn èèyàn kan ti ṣe Ọ̀rànmíyàn, àwọn èèyàn kan ti ṣe Odùduwà, àwọn èèyàn kan ti ṣe Ẹfúnṣetá Níwúrà, àwọn èèyàn kan ti ṣe Basọ̀rún Gáà, àwọn èèyàn kan ti ṣe Àwùlẹ̀. àkàndọ̀rọ̀ Awíkonko mo fẹ́ ṣe Àgọ́dọ̀yọ́ sinimá, a brutal takeover, a brutal takeover. Àgọ́dọ̀yọ́. so láìpẹ́ ìpolówó ẹ̀ ó jáde níbi tí mo ti máa nílò ìrànlọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin èèyàn. èyí tẹ́ bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ìtàn àti àṣà Yorùbá, tẹ́ bá wù yín láti kún mi lọ́wọ́, tẹ́ fẹ́ kún mi lọ́wọ́, máa nílò ìrànlọ́wọ́ yín. Àgọ́dọ̀yọ́ ń bọ̀ lọ́nà láìpẹ́, ẹ máa múra lẹ́ẹ̀dẹ́. àná Olódùmarè ò ní fi sílẹ̀ o. ẹni nǹkan pàtàkì tẹ́ fẹ́ bá mi sọ, ẹ fẹ́ bá mi dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ Àgọ́dọ̀yọ́, ẹ̀já